and just like that. Again, I've got
Just like that.
got the fucking monitoring headphone on my ear instead of the headphone that I should have, which is yours.
That's the wrong guy though, isn't it? Just like that.
Just like that. Yeah, that is
Yeah,
that's
Tommy Cooper.
that is Tommy Cooper, and
Wrong fella.
I think his record is clean.
Probably. He was a bit before cancel culture as well, wasn't he? So they never would have tried to get him.
Oh, but yeah, there's still been stories.
Unless that's what all the fidgeting behind the curtain was, and it was just him having his one last go of a kid.
No, I don't want to. Cooper's exempt from this.
Okay,
I think
we're leaving
he's safe.
Cooper.
I've never heard a whiff of Coops. He's always been just solid, doing his thing, wearing a fez. I mean, he was committing cultural appropriation before it was cool.
Yeah, he was bringing it to the white man, wasn't he?
Against Moroccans, which is like a sort of a people that small enough in number that you could probably take on the complaint you get at that time.
Yeah, they're not many of them are seeing his programs. I wouldn't have thought.
Exactly. So he wasn't doing it properly.
And he
being bold.
He didn't make it to America either, really, because they didn't understand the humour. They thought, why is this magician not able to do anything? Which was one of the biggest complaints he ever had of his career when he tried to do stuff over there.
I know.
And one guy you would think, though, would be a kiddie diddler. Ken Dodd. To look at.
He's got the name as well.
Yeah, the Doddler.
He's got the name and he's got the appearance 100%. For those...
The papers would have loved that as well.
Yes.
Ken Doddled. He's been doddled.
Ken Dodd diddled.
Yeah. Or would it change? Would it change the etymology for us? Like, would we, instead of being kiddie diddlers and kiddie fiddlers, it'd be he doddled him, and that would become the thing that would be known. And everyone's there with the tickle sticks.
But that's almost a legacy.
They've got dildos on the end of them.
You wouldn't want that to. I don't know if that's. You wouldn't want to give him that claim because he could then be sat in prison being like, yeah, well, I fucked kids so well they named it after me.
I suppose, but you're not going to last long in prison if that's what you sat there saying. I wouldn't have thought.
Fucking nowadays, you would. Prisons really not fucking like that. Most nonces and sex offenders are on special wing where they're all with themselves.
Yeah, but they're not going to like that. Surely they're not going to be keen on that either. They'll be like, what do you mean? You think you're the best?
I suppose it's competition.
No, actually, you're not that good. What was your youngest? 7? Fucking shit age 7. They talk about 7-year-olds like people talk about being a 16 and 15-year-old. Oh, it's a shit age. You know when you're trying to comfort a teenager.
At the youngest age you drank. And everyone, the way you'd fight, you'd have a competition over that usually. Oh, I did it when I was 12. I did it when I was 11. I had a glass of wine when I was 9 at my mum's birthday party.
It's an open prison and they get out for the day and they come back and they're like, just had a 6-year-old out there by the bus stations, and they're like, oh yeah? Do I know her? Like, no.
No, I met her on Alder.
Yeah.
Sorry for the rustling, but I've been to... Before we get into a British horror story, the real monsters in this country at the moment are the people who take and is in lead spin classes. Fuck those people. They're sadists. They're sick bastards. And they enjoy watching you break down physically and mentally. And to be honest, I've had enough of it. I've only been to fucking 3 spin classes, and I think I want to murder any spin instructor in a 20-mile radius.
Does it make you like cyclists, or does it put you on their side, this?
Well, I'm doing it in an indoor environment where the bike's secured to the floor.
Oh, I know, but...
So, I'm not...
Where's it putting cyclists in your ranking of, like... Paedophiles are a strong 10 of hatred.
Right.
Where do we... And at 1 is the dealer that sort of always answers the phone no matter the time.
What a guy. What a guy. 5 o'clock in the morning. 5:30.
He's
still getting your nut off. Just like,
never asleep.
So most cyclists, I have no trouble with cyclists that don't use a road, right? Tear ass down the path if you want. That's sweet. I used to do it as a bairn. I'm used to that.
Yeah.
I have no problem with cyclists that stay on the left. And up here, that tends to happen. although if you go in the country lanes, you've got obviously cycling mafias, and they go out as like one flock, take up the road. But I mean, that you can get a good 200, 300 points from just one fell swoop. And yeah, I realise that right now, having a boiled sweet in my mouth isn't
terrible radio.
It's not the best for recording, but do you know what? It's needed. I'm in pain.
Fair enough. Because of the air pressure change.
No.
From all the fake mountaineering you've been doing.
Because I'm a fucking fat bastard.
Oh. Is your cycling instructor, your spin instructor, is it a woman or a man?
Today it was a female.
Was it? Does she look like she'd breed cats?
No.
Fair. Mine look like she'd breed cats.
She looks like she could be like military.
Oh, fair. That's good though in the teacher. That's for physical, any form of physical thing. You want that sort of dominance.
When I mean military, I don't mean like a squadron leader or like some sort of instructor. What I mean is
catering corps.
No, I mean like some armies will recruit people or battalions on the fact that they're purely bastards.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And they're psychopaths. You know, like how Vikings used to...
I was going to say the Berserkers.
Exactly. We're coming back to the Berserkers. A favourite part of history. Amazing time. Ram them full of psychedelics. Let them hit the beach. Let them go mental. That's what she is.
Well, we can bring up a little... I've got a little bit of history for you with the show we've got planned as well today.
Go on.
I can take you back as far as 1284.
Yeah. Plan out the timeline.
An exact year. Well, I think that could be the first possible. Well, without going into all the stuff that happened with the Egyptian plagues in the Bible as like an old story, but a story which I can't remember if the story is from 1284 or the event took place in 1284. But we'll go with the event took place in 1284. The Pied Piper.
Right.
Kidnapped all the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Used music.
Yeah.
So does this tie in to an episode we did a while ago about reincarnation, and this, whatever this creature is, keeps coming back?
To take it even further, to start with, he actually offered his services and did good to the town.
Yeah.
So he gave something to knowing that. In reality, that wasn't going to come through. He basically he made them an offer, or let them think they'd made him an offer that was great for them. But in the long run, he knew that he was going to get his comeuppance and get his dues.
Yeah, he was going to be able to get his children trafficked across borders.
Yeah,
which is what he was after. Now we could say with reincarnation that the subject of today learnt from some of his lessons. Because the Pied Piper, he left all but 3 kids in the story. He left one that couldn't really move, who was considered lame. He left one that couldn't speak. No, one that was blind, and one that were deaf. Now, Savile.
That's not really fair, is it? Like, it's not. He's not an equal opportunity. Not an equal opportunities paedophile.
Exactly. And Savile was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that again.
Specialise in them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually create units where those specific types of people are stored, as for want of a better word. Like in his eyes, they were stored. That's how I'd have seen it. And
like a disability warehouse.
Yeah,
like an alphabet zoo, but the padding is everywhere.
B&Q, but every aisle is a mattress aisle.
Yeah. Springs, temper. Whatever you need.
It's all right. The boiled sweet's almost gone now. It's doing its work. Yeah, I think that's possible. I think they've also got the blatant one, which is the actual kiddie catcher in fucking
the child catcher.
Yeah, in
what was that in? Oliver Twist or something. It sounds like something from Oliver Twist. I don't know of a child catcher. I only know of it from Danny Boyle's Olympic show.
It's a fucking West End show, man. I went to see it when I was in London when I was in year 8. Chitty Bang Bang.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I don't think I've ever watched it, mate. So there's a
So in
child
Chitty
catcher
Chitty-
in that.
In Chitty Chitty Bang Bang,
Mm.
I don't know if there is in the fucking film, but in the script in the West End show,
Yeah.
there was Wayne Sleep played the kitty catcher.
Wayne Sleep.
Hey, Wayne Sleep, little bald man, celebrity sort of TV celebrity bloke.
Yeah.
Do you know Louis Spence?
Yeah.
It's a bit like him.
Okay.
Maybe a precursor to Louis Spence, which is probably not a good claim. I've just realised how noisy that sweet was, but now I've stopped eating it. Now it's in me. I can't hear it in my headphones anymore.
Oh yeah, same. I'm noticing that as well. It feels hard to concentrate now the noise is gone.
But it was great. But anyway, Wayne Sleep, he
Yeah,
played
go
the
on.
kitty catcher, and in the screenplay, you got to throw sweets at him. Like kids got the crowd got to throw sweets at the kitty catcher at the end of the performance because he came across the crowd in like a big cage that went up into the rafters. Well, we knew about this ahead of time. They invited a group of fucking delinquents and future criminals, which means current criminals, to London to go and see a West End show. The only one where you're allowed to throw missiles at one of the stars. So we all bought black bullets and just launched shitloads of black bullets at Wayne Sleep when it was that time at the end of the performance.
You just pelted
And
him.
I've never seen so many sweets go thrusting into the sky. Like they went off like those. You know, you see like the vehicle-mounted rocket launchers that shoot out like 30, 40, 50 rockets in the space of about 10 seconds. That was black bullets coming from the fucking top tier of whichever theatre it was in the West End of London. He must have come out so battered and bruised.
Did they actually hit him, or did he have something in the way to stop it, like a thin mesh or
No,
something?
just a cage. It's a cage that he was in.
Yeah.
Gaps. Many
They
gaps.
probably don't expect it though at a theatre performance, did it? People
No.
to plan ahead for this.
Definitely not. And that's their loss. That's their fault.
In it, they should be selling hard-boiled sweets in the foyer beforehand,
I
or at intermission
believe,
with a little slip.
that sweets were on sale. Much softer,
Imperial
smaller.
mints.
Yeah, like
Tic
jellies.
Tacs, mate. Imagine for like loads of clusters of Tic Tacs at your eyes.
Millions.
Yeah, that'd be bad if you could get the power in the throw for it.
Because they got those
Slings
little...
just little catapults behind the chairs.
But black bullets
Blind
are
the
big.
fucker.
Black bullets are big sweets. They're like, and they're heavy. They're like ball bearings of. A black bullet's licorice. They were like aniseed, weren't they?
I don't know. I've got no idea.
You've got no idea.
No. I just imagine they were like a small gobstopper.
Yeah, you're spot
and
on.
I was going with it just to keep the fluidity of the show going.
Well, not only do I admire your professionalism,
Thank you.
and I've got to say it was some sterling work because you didn't give the game away until we obviously went back to it. I'm still noticing that it's so much clearer now. I'm not eating that sweet.
Yeah.
I wonder if people will even listen past the first 5 minutes of the show. I hope so. We'll see.
When they say that it's about Savile, they're bound to.
We haven't even mentioned his name yet.
I've mentioned him briefly. I've given him a little tease. I've just a tip, just a little bit of here's a little bit of Savile. Just a little.
Just pulled the skin back. I just pulled the skin back
yeah.
and showed the head, and then I put it back again.
I've exposed the wizard's sleeve.
Yes, we got to basically brave fuck out of Wayne Sleep. Kitty Catcher, he's another nonsense in popular media, but obviously not a reality one. Another one from folklore, which is weird they're encouraged in folklore.
Well, in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, you've got the advanced technology as well, haven't you?
You do.
That car that can fly.
You do.
With the Pied Piper, that's got to be some hell of a flute. Well, some hell of a pipe that he's playing.
Yeah, and before the kids were playing his pipe.
Exactly. Well, he lured them in with rats.
Maybe that was
He
it.
swapped them for rats.
Maybe that's
Like
what
a brain dead hive mind.
Maybe that's what his flute was. Maybe his pipe was his literal pipe, and he swung out the
penis?
rats with it the first time, and that's how he got rid of them.
What he swung his dick around a load of rats and they all ran away.
No, it just like swiped him.
What if he windmilled it in one direction and the rats went away, and then when he windmilled it in reverse, it drawed the kids near.
like a metronome almost.
Yeah,
every time it swings,
like what
but
the
it's
Nazis
a
tried
magnetic
to
metronome.
invent. Like what the Nazis tried to have with their planes, where they were trying to make it so it sucks air into the front of it to make the plane go forwards. That sort of power.
I have no idea. Is that what those planes were? That had
Some of
basically
them,
looked
they
like
didn't. I don't think
holes?
they ever made them, but yeah, it's to do with all the stuff where they were trying to make fake Stonehenges. So because they thought if they make something like that, they can make basically a Harrier jump jet, but not in the shape of a plane.
Um,
But that's getting well off the point. Unless we was to go into World War Two, which is supposedly something Savile had a hand in, a lot like Aleister Crowley supposedly had a hand in.
how did Savile have a hand in World War Two? And yeah, I
Yes.
was completely lost at the planes point. I'm not gonna lie. There's
That's
also
fine.
a weird rattling noise that started emanating from round me computer area, so I wanted to fix that.
I wondered what you were looking at.
Yeah,
I
mate.
thought I was hoping it was your notes. There's so you've got with Savile there with World War Two, the spies, mate. Some people believe he was a spy. Some people believe he was somehow involved in the occultish side, just like Aleister Crowley supposedly was.
Well, what was he that old when he was in World War Two? I thought he
He
was
would
born
have
in.
been. He would have been. I've got it written down. Just for this, he was born in 1926. So yeah, he was old enough to be knocking about in World War Two.
In World War
Probably.
Two, he would have been 13 when
Would he?
when it started. 1926, if he was born. It started in 1939.
Oh, yeah. Well, towards the end though, he could have been getting into his conspiracy and that.
So
By the time
he
he's
was a
getting
young
16,
spy.
he's been having he's been smoking a bit, hanging around with his mates, and he's like, oh, I've been hearing about these conspiracy things, and there's Aleister Crowley, lad, having, magical bouts with people and trying to fucking summon the 7 demons of hell at Loch Ness. I fancy an house there when I'm older. Now then.
Now then, it's the ties between him and Crowley are
Reincarnation, possibly, in some degree. Moved his soul, transference of soul.
But I mean, I'm not gonna rule it out.
No.
I'm not gonna say I necessarily believe it, but with someone that evil, like, you sort of think that there has to be some sort of external factor or supernatural factor at play, because that person outweighs that person's done enough evil to almost convince you that they're not human.
Well, he didn't. He believed he wasn't as well. If you take into account some of the clips they showed in the British Horror Story documentary on Netflix, where he's talking about Broadmoor, and he's trying to put it as plainly. He says he's trying to put it as plainly as he can. These people sometimes get demons within them, and they're no longer those people anymore. Which is a belief from conspiracy theorists, ufologists, occultists, and has been for quite a long time, even down to people that used to believe in the Fae before it became Greys, and that people could be inhabited by these extra-dimensional entities, and then they'll start acting out and doing stuff that seems very unhuman. He seemed to have some form of belief in that. Plus, with all of the weird robes and that he would wear, which definitely had the mad symbols on and that at least he owned.
Yeah, and actually they show him one of those robes in the Monsters one in the Netflix documentary at the moment, which is obviously why we're fucking talking about this, trying to be topical in some way, shape, or form.
But it's also, guys, because one of my favourite videos on YouTube to watch, one of the things I'll watch when I want to sort of not wind down but switch off a little bit was Jimmy Savile, a Wizard, because every time you watch it you get something new and you're like, oh, I'm going to start looking into that.
Right. I heard all of that, and we're going to come back to that, and we're going to come back to that video, because I analysed the fuck out of that. I've been exploring I've been trying to figure out over it, and I know you've seen us, I know you've watched us trying to both keep this conversation going and find out what the fuck's going on over here. I've got one of these stupid bottles with the thingy lid. You know, like these bottles that have this little straw, and then you've got the straw can turn at 90 degrees, and it's no water can come out. But if you only have it a crack and it's not fully done, you get tiny bits of like air trying to come up through the water that's in the straw, and that sounded like a rattle for the past 20 minutes.
Fucking
Honestly, it's the only thing I could fucking hear.
I can add a little bit of something to that. I've been thinking for quite a long time that the Coke down here tastes different, like as in the bottles of Coke and that.
All right, I thought you were about the sniff.
No, that would probably
that
be different
tastes the
down
same.
here as well. That'd probably
be vegan.
Oh, yeah, I imagine it's awful down here.
Yeah, I would as well.
Yeah, but it's. I've been thinking for years. It tastes rank. To the point where I've told my mum and dad, and when I've gone up there, they've gotten me a few bottles, and I could bring it home and be
Yeah,
like, "Yeah,
yeah.
this tastes different." But then I thought maybe it's the height difference in here and home because this is by the sea. Turns out when my girlfriend puts the bottles of Coke back in the fridge in any bottle, she doesn't actually close the lid properly. So she just leaves it there to go flat.
What?
Like almost flat kind of thing. Like the lid's on, but it's not tight, so that the gas can escape. So when you pour it, it kind of looks still fizzy. But I just rationalised it for a very long time that it's got to be to do with living at a different altitude to what I was when I grew up.
First off, I'm really like, I like the way you've deduced it. I like the things you've thought of. I like we've gone to altitude straight away. My immediate thought would have been that they're buying it from like off duty in France and then bringing it back over. It's shit French Coke.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. I thought maybe it's because of the shop I'm going, Aldi. Maybe it's why it's cheaper. Maybe it's the stuff that they would normally say no to or would end up in the pound shop because the pound shop doesn't sell Coke anymore. Only the tins, only the cans of it, or bottles of Pepsi. Not a big fan of Pepsi. So I thought I'll have Coke, but then I've tried it in other shops and it's the same.
I mean, I bet she's a lovely woman, but your girlfriend's a psychopath.
Oh, innit? And
She's
then
a
when I called her out on it.
She's a fucking psychopath. Why is that? Why is that a thing? Why is she?
I don't know.
What?
But
she understands carbonation.
I'd have thought so. She's intelligent.
She seems it. She seems very intelligent. So this must be just a play against you. Now this is the thing. I know some
just
people
power play. Manipulation.
Yeah, I know some people like flat Coke. I know that. I know those people exist. There's a few of them. I know they like to stay quiet, rightfully so. I'm not even a Coke drinker, but flat Coke just makes us feel sick.
Well, that's what my mum used to give me whenever I was ill.
All right, she used to make you feel ill and then shit as well. Cheers, Mum, I'm not feeling well. Thanks for the disappointment too.
When I'd be ill, what she'd do is she'd get a bottle of Coke and pour half of it out, then fizz it up and open it, and then fizz it up and open it a bit to let all the gas out so it goes flat quickly. And then she'd get me to drink that, and she'd do the same with Lucozade as well if I was ill.
So she'd just pour syrup down your throat.
Yeah, basically. Just here's a load of sugar. It's probably why I can't stop drinking it.
That's rational mothering. I'm sure that's absolutely fine. And look how you've turned out. A brilliant individual.
I've got 3 of my own teeth left and convinced that there's loads of stuff that doesn't exist probably exists. Corn syrup is fantastic.
Coming back to the demons bit, I think a lot of that, the logical side of us, thinks that was people trying to explain psychological and mental disorders without knowing what the fuck psychology or how the brain works.
I guess in a way, but what if psychology is just a way to try? See, the way I see it is that psychology and psychiatrists try to explain away demons and the occult and paranormal. They try and explain it away with something that makes it the person's fault because that's something that's more.
It's not their fault.
Manageable.
No one says it's their fault.
No, but it's their. It makes it their responsibility. It makes it that person's responsibility. Whereas if it is actually extra-dimensional entities, other than trying to sell someone the odd fucking Ouija board and sage to rub around your fucking door handles or whatever, or those little prayers you can put above your door, where's the money in it? Whereas with psychology,
where's the money in?
Money in that?
Where's the money in like spirituality and witchcraft? Have you seen Etsy?
Yeah, but
have you been on Etsy?
Yeah, but that's a small.
No, it's massive. It's fucking
but you can't
massive.
It's difficult to mass produce crystals and things like that. You can easily mass produce.
No, but do you know what else? Do you know what it's easy? It's hard to mass produce. You're correct, but do you know what it is easy to do? Sell without having any education whatsoever and no knowledge whatsoever. People who just you can buy tarot card. You can buy tarot card fucking classes. Teach you how to do tarot cards on Woucher. That's really that. Is that how magic's taught?
Does that not show you? Does that not show you that means that anybody could do that? So that's something that they would want to control where the money is.
No,
I would still
because
argue
if they wanted to do
more
that,
money in psychology and psychiatry and medication for those things and therapies and things, a lot more in that than crystals and sage and stuff like that.
And the difference being, psychology works and their medicines to a
Right.
degree with the right illnesses work.
But
The
is
thing
that all
Christ-
placebo?
no,
And because more people
No.
believe that it affects the energy of the country on the ley lines that Jimmy was supposedly obsessed with,
no.
does it affect that, and that makes the general perception change?
Uh,
Whereas when we all believed it was demons and that, when we were going, oh, we need a fucking exorcism because, you know, fucking Billy's autistic or whatever, is what we would call him now. But they're like, oh, we need an exorcist. Then they're like, oh, fucking call the priest. The priest comes, fucking molests Billy, and then gets the demons out of him because, you know, you don't pay the priest in cash. You pay the priest in the little boys' bumholes of the
as
town.
is tradition.
Yeah, that's where the Spanish Inquisition came from.
And that's
why
where the history of the Catholic Church come from.
Yeah. That's why they found it difficult to keep spreading it, because it was quite wailed down that they figured out what we
it's
should be
tough to
doing is
keep
molesting
spreading it.
little girls
It is
because
tough to
we're
keep
limiting our
spreading it.
numbers.
It's tough to keep spreading it because after a while it does get raw and sore.
Yeah.
After you
Well,
really
it
need
used to
let
rot
it
off
rest.
back then. It used to rot off back then, and then the older priests would make the younger boys who they thought were possessed. They would make the younger boys molest them for a little bit of a change of pace. But
No, and the reason that's bollocks is because if it was placebos, then when you're given the wrong medication, you should still feel good. Because if you're given placebos, then it shouldn't matter what's in the pill. It's all in the mind that makes you feel better. So if you think a tablet's going to make you feel better, regardless of whether it is actually going to or not, you should feel better. Now, I've been given the
Right.
wrong medication, thinking it was going to do as good, and it absolutely ruined my brain for a long period of time.
I have an
Placebos
argument
don't
for
work.
that. I have an argument for that then. Rather than placebos, what about these chemicals cause a filter to appear around you or whatever? What spiritualists would call an aura, right? Maybe these chemicals make that effect differently, or make you produce a different scent or something that puts you in a slightly different wavelength, which means that you can't be affected by that demon anymore, but you're then affected by this new circumstance.
Because that's not how it felt whatsoever at all.
Oh, fair enough.
Do you know what it felt like? Having the wrong medication. Serious. Like, there are obviously things... I'm very willing to explore magic in the case of this because of the fucking nature of this evil. And there's... like, the links that between Crowley and, like, Savile could, like, quite easily be true, considering he knew everyone. But when I had the wrong medication, didn't feel like that. What it felt like was the real me was trapped in a shell that I couldn't get out of, and the shell was just complete grey, and my actual me wanted to like break out and just feel shit again, even if it was negative, to feel something. Because when I was given antidepressants, SSRIs, it wasn't that I didn't feel bad, I didn't feel anything at all. And that was worse. I'd rather feel sad, I'd rather feel angry, I'd rather know that the emotions were actually coming from us. And it didn't. It felt like I was trapped in almost.
Well, what if that's
a
what they're
wall.
made for? What if that's what they're made for? Well, what if, in science terms, depression, if we use science as in quote unquote science, right? Depression is maybe some form of abundance of an emotion, a negative feeling or whatever. If we just, I know it's not exactly that, but let's
I get
just
you.
to make
Well,
it
I'll
simpler.
go along with it, mate.
You're down with it, you know, and that you're very down. And these tablets put you in a cage. You're saying a metaphorical cage, but what if it's some form of, like, you know, metaphysical cage? And it's like it changes the atoms around you so these demons can't reach through. And just like Wayne's sleep, all they can do is just throw the occasional sweet through to you, but they can't take anything out of the cage. So they can pile in the problems, but they can't get out. I mean, we are getting very, very far away now from Jimmy again, but
We're getting fucking miles. We'll circle back. We always do. Don't worry about that.
He worked in healthcare
He worked. Yeah, this is
for
all
most
linking.
of his life. Yeah,
Like
yeah,
these
so-
people wouldn't have. They'd have thought this segue is fucking clean. They've just kick flipped into the next bit here, smooth as silk. But yeah, I'm gonna disagree. I mean, it's a
That's
surprise.
fine.
It's a
You're
shock.
allowed.
I know. But because I believe that to an extent that there are definitely areas where it's shown to fail or there's mistakes, but I think that's because everyone's still learning. Like even the people who are the most like knowledgeable or the most clear, the most read up on the subject are still learning because it's an evolving science. Well, it's an evolving form of medicine. And there's going to be a lot of mistakes on the way. So you see a lot of cases where maybe people don't get a fix, but there are people that do. And for like, even if there are like issues, like it would show that it's not demons.
But what if the demons are feeding off these people, like what David Icke suggests, where they hold on to the spine or sort of thing in a different dimension, and they're draining the things, and then these tablets or things like that, and the therapies help you to adjust your brain and the way you think about things and that, which means you start to produce different chemicals in your body. You can then poison them, and that's what the tablets are doing. You're poisoning it, and it's taking less and less from you.
I think it just adds too many steps to add a chemical that restores a chemical imbalance, and now the chemical imbalance is gone.
They could be lying,
which is what it is.
But they could be lying.
But it doesn't. Do you know what it feels when you take it? It feels like it's trying to correct a chemical imbalance. It doesn't feel like it's trying to fight a demon. I don't feel like Elden Ring's going on inside my body.
You don't feel your back becoming a bit looser, like the lower part of your spine being like,
None of my chakras are any more aligned.
The worm again, no.
None of my chakras are any more aligned than
I don't know anything about aligning chakras, but
you've got chakras up your back, up your spine. Apparently, mate. If you're in
see, look,
he
tries to pretend. He tries to pretend he doesn't know anything about this. Look how easy you can trip him up. He doesn't believe a word he's saying, boys and girls. He's fully into Jimmy being a wizard. He's just playing a part here.
It's definitely that way around. It's definitely that way around. Now, on to Mr. fucking Seville. Mr. Seville. First off, Prototype laid the foundations for Jeffrey Epstein. 100%. 100%. The documentary...
Maybe he franchised it.
Yeah, maybe he was McDonald's.
Yeah.
Maybe he was McDonald's.
Because McDonald's isn't about burgers.
No.
It's about property owning the property. That's what it mostly is as a business.
And he created the property.
Well, there is property with people in your pocket.
Yeah, but he also created the property for those people to come to in the first place, or owned the property, or directed the property, or managed the property to some degree, even though he had no qualifications to, in any way, shape, or form, head any such organisation or establishment /
or at least cleaned it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Jimmy Savile the reason why people look down on janitors and cleaners? They're like,
I think that's been coming for a long time before.
Or is that why porters in hospitals are underpaid? Because people are like, we don't want to pay him too much.
I mean, they've had a bad run. They've had a bad run. They had Savile, then they had Ian Huntley. It's not going well. Then you had as a caretaker at the school near me. He got found out to be a paedophile. He was in the paper. So it appears to be an entry-level position if you want to get on like the nonce ladder or the child killer ladder. We should basically, if you ever apply for a caretaker's job, you should immediately be put on a register and arrested.
No, you should add it to your CV. I'm already involved in paedophilia. And they're like, buzzing.
I already sign it once a week. Well, at least we'll know where you are.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He's not going to bring any attention to us. He's not going to get caught.
Yeah, it's a good entry-level position, but he managed to have so many roles for a bloke that was had no skill or talent. He had a good ear for music, apparently.
He invented DJing.
Yeah, that is the best. That is the best. I love to bring that out at house parties. I used to love it when I was off my nut and just try and convince people and start that, and then other people would join in who'd heard that before and be like, yeah, he invented mixing on 2 decks. He was the first person to mix 2 tunes on 2 decks. He had very good influence in the music scene. It's insane, mate. There's no way this documentary. The first point I want to make is this documentary points all of it at him, and yes, he's the one who committed all of the crimes that they talk about in that documentary. But there's no way he could have so many connections with so many powerful people who all have their own forms of intelligence and observation and ways of getting information without every single one of those organisations knowing about what he does. So, those organisations wouldn't risk that unless the payoff was worth it or unless they were getting something out of it. So in some way, they are all complicit. If they benefited from it or if they just benefited from keeping it quiet for them.
I'm thinking maybe they benefited from it directly.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe they caught him once and they're like, "Oi, pack it in." And the second time, like, "Look, we fucking told you, stop it. Don't care how much money you raise for us, don't fucking do it." The third time, they're like, "Look, you obviously don't care about getting caught, so let's have a crack." Must be good.
I think that he was the prototype Epstein. I think that he was sourcing. He was obviously they found him to be a connoisseur of the nubile. That felt horrible coming out of my mouth. That
the nubile.
Yeah, a connoisseur of the nubile didn't feel that weren't.
See, what I was seeing in my head was Jimmy Savile. Nice. I was seeing in my head Jimmy Savile trying to suck off little boys, but then spitting the cum or whatever would come out of a little boy. Yeah, like spitting it back into the dicks or something, into the foreskin, and being like, "It's not ready yet."
Oh, it's corked. This one's corked. Put it back. Smash it. Yeah, he seems to be the connoisseur. Like, and they've just like anything, any elites and any people who have a lot of money, they want to get the best stuff from the person in the know. Like, it's always you've got to go to such and such because they know the most about cars, or you've got to go and see such and such because they know the most about whiskey. You've got to go and see Jimmy because he knows that, not me. You've got to see Savile. He knows the most about Benz. He's honestly like... He knows the Aston Martins from the Jaguars of Benz. He's all out of that. He can get you a good running model, full service history. Levels have been topped up. She's ready to drive off the forecourt, literally. 3 of them in a car if you want, in one of his Bentleys, drugged off their eyeballs.
A little something for everyone though. He had the old bangers as well, the ones that you can just use for a quick run around.
Yeah, even like the stuff on live TV.
Yeah, innit?
On top of the pops and on the interviews and shit, like, how did that slide? How the fuck did that slide? I know things were rougher for women on TV and that. I know that, yeah, and obviously in society.
Yeah.
But like,
but
people weren't grow up to that.
I can't imagine anybody seeing their own daughter getting. Was it the fact that it was Jimmy Savile and like her dad was there watching? That one where it looks like he's trying to finger her in some way, and she's all wriggling round like she's on one of them fucking seats that spin around and spin your hips round. Yeah.
That was fucking horrible.
Yeah, innit? Now, if you were watching, I don't have a kid, right? Which is probably all well and good, but if I did, I would imagine I would watch that and think, the fuck's he doing to me kid there? Boy or girl? I'd be like, this is mad. But I don't think I would ever, even if someone who... someone cool was doing it, like fucking Johnny Vegas is sat there trying to pinch me kid's ass. I'm not going to be like, yeah, but it's Johnny Vegas. I'm not going to do that. I'm still going to be like, oh, fucking hell. Oh, that's ruined 2 things. That's ruined my kid. It's ruined 3 things. It's ruined me kid. It's ruined this evening because I've told all of my friends my kid's going to be on the telly later.
Yeah, they've all seen that.
And it's fucking ruined Jimmy Savile for me.
You won't be able to listen to radio anymore.
No, because he's constantly on there. I don't get the mental leaps with it, and you get that a lot with paedophiles, and I guess that's kind of in a way what sort of makes them funny in a way, because they're so creepy, and it's that the way that people will just look the other way on that. That's not the hill anyone wants to die on.
One of the reasons he was so successful, and that's successful is a term that I'd rather not use.
Objectively.
Yeah, factually, he was fucking brilliant at his art form.
If you were going to rank him.
It was a terrible art form, but in even the grimmest parts of society have to have a high scorer. and he
Yeah,
was
innit?
fucking
There's a
knocking out the
world's best
99.
mime somewhere.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And miming's shit.
Miming is shit.
It's just pretending, but you're not really even really pretending.
There's the world's best cauliflower cheese. I fucking hate cauliflower cheese.
Yeah,
Rotten, so bland. It's white on white, and that makes no sense. It's just there's no flavour in there whatsoever. Nothing appealing. It's just a mush, a coagulated mush. Fuck that. Cauliflower cheese has really threw us off there. But
saying about the greatest was making me think about R. Kelly because of the song "World's Greatest," and I was trying to find
and put
the
that
link.
claim across, didn't he? Like he put across that he was the world's greatest, but in comparison with Jimmy, like nowhere near as good. He only had like 14, 15, 16-year-old women locked up in a house that he kept as like a harem, and that's. I mean, as much as you are definitely a horrible bastard, and you've got the imprisonment part, which Savile I don't think had. I don't think he actually locked people in his house.
More of a free range molester.
He was a new age. He was a bohemian. He was a gypsy. He liked to travel. He liked to go here. He liked to go there. He liked to diddle and doddle all over the place. But we were coming back to his high score. He's very, very, very good at it. There was another point coming from this. There was definitely a point before we went down this fucking tangent.
The high score bit, we was on about mental health and he was being in hospitals before that, and then we ended up. No. After that,
it was just literally before the high score. But
we can find it again. I'm sure.
I'm sure we can.
It was about him being associated with different people and to do with Epstein and that, and.
Yeah.
You know,
so he set the prototype. He was used to be sourced. The amount of so many organisations that you're like, well, these approve you and not. The Pope backed him.
Yeah, that's
Israel
that's a
backed him.
Sign. Oh, I don't know enough about Israel, to be honest, to know if is kiddie fiddling a prerequisite like it is for the Catholic Church.
Any major religion or religious place that's the centre of a religion, which Israel is the centre of religion, I'm going to assume to some degree is involved in noncery, because all religions to some degree appear to be involved in noncery.
That's a hot Jimmy take. Guys, the people listening, we're looking for clips to put on social media, and I think we've just found the first.
Yeah, it's possible.
A weekly hot Jimmy.
Any organised institution of any form, be it religious or anything else based on anything, it's going to have with it, like, I don't know what it is, among any sort of elite, there appears to be this just belief that because they're of a higher power to some degree, they can get away with what they're doing, or what they're doing is right because they're the right person to do it, because they're so powerful, and how could they be doing something that wasn't right? I think he got that as well, Savile. Oh, this is what I was coming back to. I fucking got it. So, the reason Savile was so good at his trade, top high scorer, it was because he managed to balance the amount of evil with the amount of perceived good. So he had the public believing he was the best of the best and doing all this shit to think he was an absolute hero. Meanwhile, he's being the most horrible person on the planet. And what that does is, like, if any rumours do come up, people go, nah, not this bloke, because he does all this good. And not only do they think about all the good he's done, they think of all the like positive thoughts they've had about him, and then they go, I can't get this wrong. I can't be wrong about this bloke, and I can't have liked this bloke for years and thought he was so pure and so true and so charitable and all this. I can't be wrong. So it has to be that he is this person. It can't be that I'm wrong, because I'm a really good judge of character, and I would be a terrible person if I got it wrong and I'd actually been celebrating a paedophile for years and watching a paedophile for years. I think that's a massive part to play in it.
I agree. I do agree with that. But what my question is which came first? I would love a nice little funny chicken or the egg, but it's the children of the I don't know, some
children of the charity.
Yeah. What was he doing good so that he could do bad? Or did he do bad and then think, fucking hell, I'm going to have to do something good here? Or was it so that he did good so that he could do bad in the sense of if I do all this good stuff, I can then go and do this bad stuff freely because it's fine. I've paid my debt to society, and I'm in credit to society. Or was it he was severely in the red
So
with
I got a
society
bit
already?
I got a bit of both from him, like that bit you were touching on there, where his belief was that he'd done enough good that he could do bad to sort of balance it out. I think that was definitely part of it. I think another part is just sheer narcissism and knowing that if he played this character, he could just simply get away with it. And it wasn't a fact of doing good to do bad. It was like, well, a little bit, but it was also throwing it back in the public's faces. Because all those clips that they found, and I know editing can obviously be taken out of context, but all those points where he says like, "My case is coming up next Thursday," and all that fucking bollocks, and like, "Oh, I did such and such. I took this girl. Like, I kidnapped this girl. I take little girls." Like, all those comments taken as jokes. Again, the people involved in TV a load of those behind the scenes obviously knew that wasn't the case, and that must have been like, how does that studio stay quiet? Like, it must have been like a pin drop every time the fucking camera went off. Like, it's ridiculous. Those people definitely knew. But I think that part of that was sheer narcissism. Do you know how, like, people, how in conspiracy theory circles, they go on about, like, people of power throwing up hand signs and that at public gatherings and in photos and stuff as basically a way of showing off to the inner fucking group?
Yeah.
Do you know, like, when you see them throwing like devil signs, shit like that, or
and
signs,
like double clenched fists, like up in the air and stuff like that.
where it's almost like
masons, high up masons and things like that.
Almost like getting kicks out of it, going, I'm in the secret group, but you don't know. And he was just an extra extension of that. He was literally coming out and going, I attack lasses. And they were going, ha 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 ha. And then once he'd done that once, he knows, right, the seed's planted. I've planted it that well.
And he turned it into a catchphrase. Yeah.
I'm untouchable. These people will laugh when I'm literally telling them the truth. So now I've just got to keep up this level, and I can even drop them hints every now and again, and I can get a kick out of it more than just, obviously, the abuse.
Well, we know that he was playing a character because of in the, I think they showed it in the second Louis Theroux documentary, where they'd left the camera on the sides in the room, just on, through apparently not on purpose, it was just on record, and they'd nipped out to get a drink or something. And he was swearing and that one, he was calling people bastards and stuff, and that's apparently something he never did in public and never showed any anger or anything. He was always in character until that moment when they weren't in the room.
Yeah.
But was that an act as well, to try and give him a little bit of something so that Louis thinks he's found something? There, Louis like, what I've found he's actually quite a nasty man. I've always thought he was a bit of a weirdo, but now I've found he's actually quite mean, and it is all a facade,
and he
rather
did that,
than actually showing what the facade was.
And he did that in the documentary as well. If you notice, when they had the release of the article, where it was in the Mail or the Sun or something, it was a red top. In that documentary, it said that he'd had people beaten up. They had people who beat people up for him and all this shit. And it was when he was due to get his knighthood. And I think that was like one of the reasons why he didn't get it at that time, I believe, because he'd come out with this story in a red top, and that was basically controlled damage. That was exactly what that was. That was like, you are all thinking that there has to be some sort of dark side to me because I'm so good, so I'm gonna release the dark side I want you to think. Like, I'm gonna show you what I think I want you to know. And what I think you want to see is my bad side. Just enough. I'm going to make something up. I'm going to make up that I've got gangs and that, and they go around and do me bidding for us. And you're going to be like, oh, Jimmy Savile's, he's a bit of a scary man. But hey, isn't it good that like he does all this good and he only does that?
The same thing could be said of mobsters, isn't it?
Gangsters, 100%.
Mafioso or whatever mafia people. Mafioso is right, isn't it, for mafia people? It's the same with them. They do what could be seen from an outside, someone who doesn't live in that community. Normally, you get seen doing a lot of good. They're providing jobs, even if that job is just pick this box up here and pop it over in that area over there, and then you over there pick that box up from there and put it back over there. 8 hours of that, please. I'll be taking 10% of both of your wages. He's still giving them jobs and stuff. He's doing good to an outsider's point of view.
Yeah, but well,
It's
I
not
mean,
until you're involved with it, with the mafia there, and
I am
see,
gonna
oh
give
shit,
the
stuff's going on here.
I'm gonna give the mafia and a lot of other organised gangs much more credit than that, and say that they actually go the extra way, and they'll actually give back to the community as long because it gets the community on their side and buys their silence and buys their trust. If the police do come round,
That's what he was doing, though. He was getting, but the community was the country.
That's true. That is true. But the way he threw it in their faces and was just so blatant with it, man. Like, there were a ridiculous amount of signs, and there's no way that people didn't pick up on it. I know there was a couple of journalists that did, but everyone. There is no way governments didn't know. Margaret Thatcher, 3 times she wrote to the Queen being like, will you knighthood this man, please? What did he have on her? And this is what makes us think he was like an Epstein type, because like it always seemed that Epstein had leverage over everyone, and that's what he was for. Like, Epstein's Island was basically a fucking intelligence gathering place where heads of state would come and like important people, celebrities and that would come, and basically everyone gets fucking damage on each other. Oh, I've seen you're shagging little 6-year-olds. Oh, I've seen you've got 2 schoolgirls over there in your little pad, your little apartment.
And you can't satisfy either of them.
Yeah,
I'll take them.
because we've stole all the Viagra.
Yeah.
We've stole all the ground up rhino horn because that's what works. We got people to kill the rhinos and bring them over, especially along with a load of blood diamonds that we're going to use as butt plugs later. So that place was, like we've talked about previous, although it's going to go out in clips. A bit like a humiliation ritual.
Yeah.
So a bit like, let's all get
come to magic though as well.
Yeah, 100%. This is where we're leading. So if that was the case with him, if that was the case with Epstein, I think Savile was the one before that. And look at the people that were involved: the royal family, all of the government, the Pope, like various other countries, various fucking like Broadmoor, insane institutions where like. And that wasn't meant to be a pun in anywhere. Like institutions he should never have been involved with, that he was just given the keys to.
What if, right? This is going to be a bit out there, right? But we know about coups. We know fully about coups and what it takes to a coup to destabilise a place. What if these paedophiles, like the big ones, like Epstein, who seems to be not working for any side in particular other than his own?
He's American. And I think in the same way Jimmy was working for the UK.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I'd say they were very much out for themselves though as well.
Epstein was definitely state backed to some degree, whether it was CIA or something else. He was working for the Americans, and Jimmy, to a degree, was working for the Brits in the UK.
But Jimmy was also damaging his own place more than he was damaging other people. Jimmy was pissing into the wind. Whereas Epstein was having the whole, we'll have, even though we got our own people coming here, we've got people from other countries coming here too. Jimmy didn't seem to go for that as much. He would piss into the wind and be like, whoa, it's lovely when it warms up.
Well, he likes a good English dinner. Just one of those English blokes. Just one of those blokes that they say the one who has great full on meat, 2 veg and gravy every night for tea. Only goes to Tenerife on holiday once a year.
No, Jimmy is the epitome of that sort of. This is what, and that's why he wasn't. Which is weird that he was friends with Maggie Thatcher, because Margaret Thatcher fucked over all the people that were supposed to be, quote unquote, his people and the miners and that. No, I know, but that should have been a thing for people being like, but I thought he was one of us, but she's doing all this and he's with her. Then you've got my point that I was about to make though, was what if you probably already guessed it. What if Epstein and Savile aren't people? What if they're aliens and the aliens are looking to cause a coup on Earth? Or what if there's more than one species of humanoid living on the Earth? Let's say one of them's a shapeshifter who can take the form of a person, right? Just throwing it out there. It's something that a lot of people believe in,
Yeah.
and they've taken the form of these people here, and they've got powers over people because they've evolved differently or whatever, just like we have. Maybe we've got more strength than they do, like physical strength and things like that, like what's
But
believed.
what's the benefit? What's the benefit of, instead of, if you want to take over the world or whatever, what's the benefit of like just shagging bands and not killing people or destabilizing the world?
Well, what if they've only been here since the early 1900s or the mid 1900s? What if that's what World War II kind of was? An alien invasion that got covered over in the history books.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It still doesn't answer the question about what the hell shagging bands has to do with it.
Blackmail. They can blackmail all of those people then and have them do what they need them to do. They can convince them because they know they're intelligent enough to know that, well, we can shame these people because these have evolved in more of a emotional sense rather than an intelligent sense. They're more emotionally driven. We can use their lust or whatever to our advantage, and that's what they're then doing, to then have more power over time, to culminate this power to eventually turn us all against ourselves so that they can take the planet for themselves. Maybe they're Martians, and that's what all this obsession is with Mars at the minute.
Maybe. Now, I was leaning more to and this was what I thought was going in your direction. I was like, you know what, Jack's going to appreciate my take for once. Jack's going to be like, this lad's on my side.
Well, go on.
I don't think that any of them were aliens or indeed magic themselves, but I believe that's what they were pursuing.
They believed in magic. Yeah.
Much like Crowley.
Crowley, by all accounts, managed to do mad shit.
Yeah, he did manage to do mad shit.
What was that lad that he used to rape in the desert? There was Paul, Pee-wee, Peter,
his unfortunate,
Headaway.
His unfortunate
his little ward.
sidekick.
Yeah, he had and he used to rape him in the desert. And one time they took him out there for days, just constantly raping him and then having him shag him, which I suppose, I don't know if he could class it as rape, but they would both shag each other. But I suppose after an extended period of time of forcibly fucking someone in the desert and having them shag you, you've got to cross a line. But
it no longer becomes an enjoyable event.
Yeah.
More of a marathon.
Yeah, it was an endurance, which was the point of it.
Like one of those 24-hour races on Gran Turismo.
Yeah, or, the 900 and odd lap things you could set up on PS2 where when your mate won't leave and you want to drop it in.
The key was if you did the big ring circuit, was if you put like a block of Lego on the X button, you held that down with one elastic band, and then you put another elastic band around your toggle on your right-hand side, all the way over, and put it around the little bit where your hand goes. That would keep it bouncing against the wall, the right-hand wall, at full pelt. And then every 8 or so laps, it would bounce into the pits, which you had to do anyway. If you put that on the Suzuki Escudo, on the ring endurance that went on for fucking ages, you just walk away.
Wow. But that's completely throwing me.
Yeah, going back to Aleister Crowley.
Oh, yeah, and this lad in the desert. Well, there was a ring around them which they thought if we stay within this ring here that we've placed, this magical ring, we'll be able to see through it, and the other things will be able to see through it, and so it'll create a window. And he supposedly did. And he saw that mad fucking creature.
I think you are going to see some mad shit. Which looks like a
fae.
I think you are going to see some mad shit if you've been booking each other in the desert for an extended period of time. I imagine you're going to look into some holes and see some things you've never seen before.
I would imagine,
and it would stay with me too.
An awful lot of boils, burns, and blood in them holes. But there's going to be that creature supposedly stayed with him and gave him advice and information and things like that.
That creature was in someone's intestines.
No, that creature was in a different dimension.
So that lad's intestines, yeah.
No, but they supposedly that had something to do with Jack Parsons, which brings in Scientology. Jack Parsons had a big hand in Scientology, and that experiment there had something to do with Jack Parsons, supposedly.
Really?
Yeah. So that's sex magic working for that. I'm not saying there's sex magic in Scientology, but
that's a group that I would assume somewhere down the line have been involved with Savile. Like, he would have been a great capture for them.
Maybe they wouldn't like that.
If you wanted to break the UK market, Savile is the one to get on your side.
No, I wouldn't have said so. I know he gets all the rich and influential people, but he's got his own stuff going on. Scientology isn't, so from what I can tell, from what I know about it, isn't about the magic and that. It was more about there's something there that we can't see, but it's not magic.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't want his magic abilities. They'd want his power and his success. They'd then shape his abilities. Like they'd be like, look, you can put the auras down. You can step away from the magic gowns and everything.
Step away from the auras.
And
put down the cigar.
We're gonna make you a level 30 Thetan or whatever the fuck it's called.
See, even Thetan though sounds like Thelema, doesn't it? In a way.
What? Because it starts with the.
Yeah.
Right. That's.
Etymology, mate. Etymology's huge in the world of magic.
I know it's fucking nonsense. Which that documentary you sent us, which I had seen before, not seen it in a very long time. The documentary we watched is Jimmy Savile,
a wizard, documentary 2.0,
and it's a record. It relates him to Aleister Crowley. It does the typical thing. And speaks about etymology for fucking half of the documentary, trying to basically
give them some
right,
credit.
A quarter.
They also managed to make Frank Bruno seem terrifying with that voice modulator that they put on him.
They do, and you know what? They like.
That was like
Frank
really
Bruno's a
scary.
lovely bloke.
I know.
A really
that's
lovely
what was
bloke.
weird.
Yeah, and they proper fucked him over there. They've got
really
the same
go in for
backing
him
track.
with it, though.
They've got the same backing track all the way through, which is like a basic, like almost like a
Kind of
dubstep
like-
loop.
Oh yeah, but also sort of mixed with Friday the 13th. That sort of
A little bit, yeah.
that's sort of in the background.
For
It's-
a solid hour.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
woman's audio has been chopped all over. There are blatant bits where she's edited in one word into a sentence that she didn't record earlier on, or she fucked up. Like it's really bad. It's really bad. The thing is, I sort of, in a way,
bought into it completely.
no, I don't agree with her. I believe that like he was a type like Crowley and was in pursuit of like the Nazis as well. Like people who go to extremes of evil in order to try and achieve something are usually trying to become somewhat superhuman or are trying to gain a power that humans don't have. I think he was very much trying to do the same. I don't buy into any of the bollocks that she talked. Jingle jangle is not a phrase that he's been using.
Jingle jangle
to break
album.
the public down. And what did she say it was? Create a trans-dimensional portal to bring through people from the spirit world. Jingle jangle. Say that 3 times in a mirror and watch all of his victims come back.
No, you just get a bell appear behind you.
Dong.
The mask, yeah, just the.
She analysed
Or
jingle
different-
and
yeah.
jangle. Like,
She did. Well, you've got to. You've got to
Nah.
analyse everything.
any conspiracy documentary that uses a good quarter of its running time as a way of dragging out etymology that is nonsense, and you're following nonsense paths and tangents that there's no reason to go down.
So you're going back on yourself now because you've said you enjoy my solo shows. Yeah, so someone's lying somewhere, guys. See, we've caught him twice in this episode. Who's the real Jimmy?
Your shows are shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't agree with her one bit, but I do believe Jimmy Savile's a fucking wizard, basically, is what I'm boiling that down to.
Lovely.
I think
Do you
he could
reckon
be
he
friends
went
with Crowley.
wrong because he wasn't the 7th son? He was just the 7th child. So he had the thing where he's born on Halloween, which is supposed to help because that's where the dimensions sort of cross the most. Or
Yeah, it's a fucking bollocks, isn't it?
But
This is the other
7th
shit where she
son-
created him to be some sort of like deity at the start. The way she
Yeah,
mapped
she
out
really
his
did
birth.
build him up. Yeah.
Yeah, she goes like,
If you'd never heard of him before and you were watching that,
you
and
think
you'd
he
be
was a
like,
god? You think he was Hercules or something?
Yeah.
He was born on Halloween. He was the 7th son of whatever, and like there was something else. And Leeds is meant to be somewhere that's possible portal to the underworld. Did you?
And then
did you
she,
see
but
that
then
bit?
it's like it was like a bit though. All of that was as if a way to set up that Leeds as a shithole. Because you're like, but now Leeds isn't a very nice place or happy place at all. Is this because of the ley lines that converge here? Then the rape that took place in Leeds General Hospital because of the Stoke Mandeville Hospital being placed near the Key Gravestones on the roundabout about 400 miles away, and they all converge. Yeah, it's fun, though, isn't it? It is the wizard stuff's fun. I like.
What was
that.
good about it is, yeah, she. I tell you what, she'd be a great comic because the misdirection was class. She would build you up with a bit of normal information, be like, oh yeah, and he would recite jingle jangle, and he'd recite now then, that's now, and then that's present and past, now then, now. Was he trying to create a portal to bring through transdimensional spirits? You're like, whoa.
Well, what if misdirection though? Misdirection isn't just good for comedy though, Jimmy. It's also good for magicians. And what's a magician other than a shit wizard?
A fucking A.
You know, so was she a wizard? And she's trying to, is she mental? Possibly. I don't want to, be deflammatory towards the person. So, obviously they're trying to do what they believe is good work. But we've seen where that can get people. But still, what if she was just trying to, like you said with Scientology, sort of claim one for themselves and be like, well, we're magicians. This is the magician's circle.
Yeah, I think she could be trying to.
Because I would imagine children's magicians are also probably
like caretakers.
Inclined.
Caretakers. Yeah. Basically, people who apply for jobs as caretakers already have a side job as a clown at children's parties.
That's what their CV's filled with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Clown caretaker, clown caretaker, clown caretaker, national celebrity caretaker, national celebrity caretaker, leader of a religion caretaker.
15-year gap caretaker.
What we doing then? I was on an island called Little St. James. It's dangerous man. I actually think, and do you know what? Although it made us think that Prince Charles is definitely in on it, the fact that Margaret Thatcher had to write to the Queen 3 times made us think I might actually have some newfound respect for the Queen. I think she's trying to hold off the paedophiles from taking over the country.
Well, what if she's... like you've got the prodigal son and you've got the story of like the Lion King and Hamlet and that, where the leader disappears and runs away and tries to start their own thing, and people like to say that the royals are lizards. What if the Queen is like Simba, and the Queen was one of them, it is one of them, but sort of broke off and went in their own direction and is like, I do not agree with what you're doing, but I'm going to take what you know.
He is one.
Go on.
So she's broke off, but everyone with Philip's bloodline is still part of it. Because he's obviously got the lizard DNA as well. That's why Charles was in on it. That's why he actually met with fucking thingy who I've just mentioned, who's dead.
Savile.
Prince Philip. Oh. So everyone who had fucking Philip's DNA, so Charles, fucking Andrew, and all the rest, they've still got the demon lizard bloodline, but Lizzie hasn't. Hence the name Lizzie, Elizabeth, Lizard. She's like, it's almost a thrown in your face of, I should be one, but I'm fighting them off.
Or it's just the same as Savile going me cases next Thursday.
She's throwing it. Nah, but that doesn't
giving them a little bit of truth.
That doesn't then play into my.
I thought
she's actually fighting them off.
Harry. I thought he was going to say that Harry has took off. So he's like, look, you've tried your best here, Nan. You've really done your hardest. I know you've tried. I'm going to take everything you've taught me and everything I know about them.
And she's going to run.
And I'm going to form a rebellion over there.
Maybe that's
this is going to be.
This
is going to be the second trilogy. The prequel trilogy over here.
She stayed as Hodor from for Game of Thrones, the one who he holds the door and he sacrifices himself.
I don't know it. We've gone for different story. I went for Star Wars. I don't know Game of Thrones.
I don't know Game of Thrones either, but I know this because it was internet, and it's basically a bloke who died saving others, and that's what the Queen's do, and she's holding them off. She's trying to outlive Charles because she knows if Charles gets thrown, non-central. She cut off Andrew because Andrew non-central. She sent Harry away. She was like, Harry, get safe. Yeah, like your Star Wars reference, get safe. Yeah. Go off, little Luke. See you later. So that happened.
Because he was actually born. So if you believe, we've touched on this a few times. I quite like this, though. The bloodline from Harry was purposely put in there, and we don't really. I can't remember why, but the bloodline with Diana. That was supposed to have been brought in.
That's where I was coming to.
He flirted with her, though, according to that documentary. They were trying to make her look like she was in
the documentary. It said, obviously she visited there once with Charles, and then it said Diana kept returning to the place. That's why she got killed, mate. Elizabeth had Diana killed because Diana was complicit with Savile.
Or she was worried that
No.
What if Diana? We keep Diana as the good person just
Nope.
to keep the few listeners that we may have left.
No.
And she was like, "Look, you're getting in way over your head. You're never going to be able to take them down. You cannot do this. You need the power of the lizards. I've got the power of the lizards. Your children will have the power of the lizards, but unfortunately, you don't. You've done your job. Sit back, do charity work."
Diana, up until this point, I thought Diana was the people's princess, and I carry around a coin with Diana's face on it. That's no shit either. I'm not going to go and get my wallet right now, but I was walking past it. I'm going to tell the fucking story if you pipe down. I was walking past an antique shop in York, and there was a coin with Diana's face on it, massive coin, and I became transfixed. Yes, I was coming down from being off my nut the night before, and I hadn't slept, but I saw this coin and thought, me, a wreckhead, right now, stinking of session still, needs to walk into this middle-class antique shop in York and inquire about this here coin. It's a Cook Islands dollar. This thing's real, and the reason I bought it is it's got her in a dress, right? It's a real image that's laid on the coin, and this is a real coin.
Upside down, you can see her in her underwear.
Yeah, if you heat it up, it'll close them off. No, it's the picture they've used looks like a paparazzi shot for they've caught her on a night out. It's weird. Not a shot that's been done for the coin, but it's a real image that's been put on the coin and then sent to mint for mass production. This is real currency. And I now keep it in my wallet for good luck. And also, when bouncers searches when I'm going into places, they pull out the coin, and it's a great conversation starter.
Yeah, they've forgotten that anything that they've found in your sock or anything at that point. They're like, what is this? Is this some form of weapon or something? What is this?
It's my Diana coin. But I thought she was the People's Princess until this documentary. I've now realised that she was visiting because she was in on it with him. And the reason we killed her, well, the Queen killed her in the tunnel, was to put an end to her depraved acts.
Okay, I like where you're going with this. I like the conspiracy element. But what if there's another level of conspiracy to it? What if they've put this in there just to make us go, oh, so she was bad, so we shouldn't like Harry? Because people were still a bit half and half about Harry, whether to like him or do we like him even though he's run away, or do we respect him for doing that? Do we dislike him because he's left us? But then if they find out that Diana was involved with Savile through this documentary, that's one of the highest ranking things on Netflix. Because bear in mind, that Jimmy Savile's a Wizard documentary has been out for years, and that's not going to have nearly the views that this thing will have.
I wonder why. I wonder if it's the production value, if it's the content,
it'll
and all,
be
if it's the
because
financial
YouTube
backing.
refuse to monetize things like that, so they're not going to show it to people because they can't make money off of
that's definitely
things like that.
Definitely what it is. I would agree with you that it was planted, but there's so much negative shit against the royal family in that documentary. It basically goes, oh, and did you know Jimmy Savile was actually running the country? And did you know that if they needed to escape somewhere, Jimmy Savile told them how to do it? And did you know that Prince Charles went, I don't know how to talk to the country, will you help us talk to them? And did you know he wrote all these weird letters to him? And did you know that? And it basically paints our royals to be incompetent and in some way, I believe, again, complicit in the nonsense. There's no way royal family didn't...
We've been with this before. Sorry to cut you off, but I've said this.
Please
it's like someone's trying to turn us against our own. It's like a coup. Maybe it's not aliens, but
is this documentary
like
made for us?
What do you mean?
Me and you specifically.
The Savile thing?
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying that, but the country, it's being viewed in our country, and it's making our royal family look bad, which is something that hasn't really happened before. We've never really had we've not had a lot of programs. Let's go back to 40 years or so. Has there really been constant things
We've only
repeatedly?
started in the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah,
properly.
Which could be a slow thing, and now it's like the dam's bursting, and all of this stuff is being, because people are accepting it and lapping it up, being like, oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. A bit of fucking nonsense, a bit of fucking, abusing people in the Commonwealth. Oh, we'll have a bit of this. It's a way to break up Great Britain. It's a way to break up possibly the Commonwealth, because I imagine as the Commonwealth we still have somewhat of a stranglehold over a lot of the world.
It's basically a sort of badge that we give out to countries nowadays to go, remember, we did take over you once and killed a hell of a lot of you. Now you've got your own economy and independence, but this Commonwealth is basically a badge to say we fucked you once. So we don't. I think all that's happened with, and I would like to agree, but I think more so the reason for the criticism in that over the last 10, 15 years is that the last generation that was brought up to support the Queen and brought up to see the royal family as a figure of real rulership and like brought up in that sort of war or post-war environment where it was we've got to stick together and we're fighting for the Queen. The Queen's a symbol of the nation and the nation's us. We're really fighting for us, but we can't say we're fighting for us because that makes man fight for themselves. So we're going to fight for this unified thing, which is this figurehead who represents us all and who rules over us all. I think that last generation that had the effects of that or had that mentality have gone. And now we're living in a world of people that have the internet, the ability to read about what the fuck we've done in life, and no longer have that community or that patriotism towards a country because they no longer see themselves aligned with it.
Which all ties into my coup idea. If someone's been doing this for a long time, playing the long game, like Russia used to have 5-year plans and they would get shit done with it. Imagine if someone had a 100-year plan, 150-year plan.
China does.
Well, there you go. This could easily be something that they were doing.
I think it's more so.
You must see where I'm coming from.
I do, but I think it's more so that
logical.
I think more so that the people have just had that plan that no one's ever been happy under a fucking monarchy. Like,
yeah, true.
Why is
telling,
that?
Isn't it, that they've gone to all these other countries, like you just said there. If that's true about the Commonwealth, they've gone, look, we're ruling you, and we realise that's not good for you, and you don't want it. But then they're keeping us. So I guess. But is that just the propaganda working on us, Jimmy?
No, it's not. Or maybe it is. Maybe it is from the coup. Maybe the shapeshifters have got. And do you know what? If this is their plan, I'm behind them 100%. They can stop shapeshifting. They can just come out, be whatever shape they want to be, and I'm backing them.
What do you reckon it would look like? Do you reckon it'd be as boring as They Live, where you actually see that they just look like Burns victims?
They couldn't look any worse than our current leader. That blancmange of a human being. Actually, that's fucking doing a disservice to the blancmange, which is a terrific dessert.
I don't know what that is.
Basically like a milk jelly.
That's disgusting.
It's not. It's quite nice. It's like a cream jelly.
Is it like the Milky Bar yogurts?
Not quite. They're better. But Milky Bar yogurts are banging though. But yeah, if the shapeshifters, I reckon they'd maybe look immediately, because the first thing I think of when I think of shapeshifter is Ditto from Pokemon. So that's what I think all shapeshifters look like.
Just a Morpheus blob.
Yep.
But even then, a Ditto was an experiment that went wrong, trying to create the original.
Yep.
So, what if that's what the shapeshifters are, which ties into the stuff with the Bible and all of the Garden of Eden and that? So,
yeah.
Maybe.
It's a possibility. It's a shapeless form. It's nothing, so it can be anything.
Oh, getting philosophical there towards the end of the show, guys.
And on that note, we are going to end the show.
But before we do end the show,
all right.
Before we bring on Chode, we do need to tell you about the Patreon. If you're listening to this, maybe not if you're listening to it live, that's fine, enjoy. But if you're listening to this,
if you're listening live,
recorded,
fucking sign up and give us some money, you cunt.
Yeah, join the Patreon. You get absolutely fuck all for your money at the minute. But if you start,
we will talk to you.
We will have to give stuff. We'll start making maybe an extra show where we just chat shit with each other.
We
tell
might
us
do
what we want.
We might do one-to-ones with you.
Jimmy might do one-to-ones with you.
Jack might do I'll cook something for you. I'll take you through a cook.
Jimmy
will
do a video. Cookery classes, I could help you come up with a way to market your product.
That is the top tier. Is a fucking cookery class.
Yeah, and I'll help him market the product. I won't advertise it for him, but
fantastic.
I'll come up with your little advert or something for you.
We have a Patreon. We have these shows are going to be out.
What it is. Patreon.com, that's Patreon. It's a subscription service. Patreon.com/truthseeking.
He's a professional at this, folks. It's almost like he does it on a show already. Do that. Give some money. There's one T-shirt of Truth Seeking on Jack's website. Yeah. His other T-shirts on there are possibly better. But buy that one. Make us feel good that we actually paid an artist to do that drawing. It's good drawing. I like that drawing.
There's 2 people out there with them, and neither of them are us.
Is there?
I think so. I think
I
there's
don't
2
even
that
own
have
one
gone.
of those T-shirts. That's
No.
fantastic.
I should probably get us some.
That's great. Do that. These shows are going to be more regular. We might even start doing 2 a week, mate.
I think we should.
We
should.
start
If
pumping them
we're
out.
still recording and you're listening to this, and you're
They
listening
are.
to this in a few weeks' time when this goes out as well, tell us what you think. We might have already started by then, but if you have a proper conspiracy show like what we tried to do here, where we really try to keep each other on some form of track, and we actually have notes written down. Like I've got 2 books of notes around me here, albeit some of it is about the Pied Piper, where I really went down a weird rabbit hole again on that. But only to bring it up for 2 minutes. And it went nowhere, just because I wanted to be able to say that Savile was, when you went there for me, it was about Savile would decided he'd go for the people in hospitals, whereas the Pied Piper wouldn't.
Yes.
But if you just want to wear these sort of shows, would you also enjoy the sort of shows that we've been giving recently as well, where we just get lost, and you can have them as well? But we
They
also
could
have
be
a show where
premiums.
we kind of focus. Is that something people would be interested in, just as a bit of market research for us? But yeah, that's I reckon that's the what should we call that? Like the begging.
The begging.
That's the panhandling out of the way.
That was it. And we were going to end on some momentum, but now we're just going to end on a stagnant note. It's been
We'll
a pleasure.
we'll end on another advert. Buy my book, 50 Ways to Torture a Sloth.
Hey, you need to send us a copy.
I will do when I get them. I'm still waiting. I'm waiting. I've found a couple of mistakes in the digital version, so I've had to also change it.
There's a quote of mine on that book, and I've not even read the
There is.
fucker. I've just read the intro. But buy the book. Buy the book.
Yeah.
Chode's Liberal Paradise is on next if you listen to this live. And no doubt he'll be waiting with a bottle of Bucky in hand and a balaclava on his face. Have a nice weekend, and we'll speak to you next week.
See you in a bit.